Just give me one second, okay? So once you have finished the evaluation of the previous group, let's get our attention to this team, all right? And also a good attention. Let me see. Just try not to talk, just for another half an hour. Thank you very much, okay? Thank you. Let's give them some welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and we are Team 2. My name is Sam, and they are my groupmates, Bobo, Calvin, Robin, and Fiona. And we will have our presentation in video form.
Music.
We are Team 2, and today we are going to present our account. And this is our outline. We will mainly focus on 5 parts with our presentation. First, I will introduce some background and information of Macau. Macau is one of the 2 special administrative regions of.
Make the volume louder. The volume there. Yeah.
The People's Republic
Can
of
we go to the
China. And
outline?
because of the history of colonized by and
Background, gambling, environment.
Is our outline. We will mainly focus on 5 parts with our presentation. First, I will introduce some background and information of Macau tourism. Macau is one of the 2 special administrative regions of the People's Republic of China. And because of the history of colonized by Portugal, Macau culture is blend of East and West. For example, we can see ruins of St. Paul's, Nasamba, and Ama Temple, Marco Miao, in Macau. Also, gambling is the most important and the most attractive features to attract tourists come to Macau. And because Macau is the only legal place of gambling in China, so after 2003 individual visa scheme, more and more Chinese people come to Macau to gamble. So these 2 parts, cultures and gambling, leading Macau tourism. And next I will talk about the history. In 1847 is the gambling legalization. In 1999 is the transfer of sovereignty to Macau. 2002 the end of the monopoly system. 政府结束赌博的专营权，改而发放3个副牌。2003 is a very important date because Chinese central government carried out the individual visa scheme. It attracts more Chinese people visit Macau. Finally, in 2007, MTM opened, meaning that Macau have 6 gambling companies at the time, and also Macau gambling industry has entered a new era. Because Macau gambling is very important to Macau tourism, so next I will have a brief comparison about gross gambling revenue of 2005 and 2006. According to the BBC in 2006, gross gambling revenue is 55.884 billion in MOP. And in this table, we can see that the gross gambling revenue in 2005 is 45.8 billion in MOP. And in 2006, compared with 2005, it increased 10.084 billion in absolute change and 22% in relative change. And we use this percentage formula which we have learned in this class to calculate this number. As you can see, from 2005 to 2006, the gambling income has increased about 1/5. It means that gambling industry is very important to Macau and it brings lots of money to the Macau government. And we will talk more details about Macau gambling industry in after. In the next part, we will focus on the tourists for visitors. This chart has shown that the visitors for Macau are entry points from 1997 to 2014. In this chart, the data come from the SEC, so it is reliable. And in this chart, we can see that the visitors in total, which is blue color, and visitors by land, which is gray color. And we can see that their movements is very similar, especially after 2003. Moreover, most visitors come from Macau by land, and most Chinese visitors come from Macau are also by land. So therefore, we use 2014 as an example. We can see that the visitors by land is 55% of total visitors. In other words, if there are 100 visitors, more than half of visitors are coming by land. Also, we can have a comparison between by land and by air. People by land is 0.5 times of people by air. And the green box is the calculation. And we can see that visitors by land from 2003 to 2004 has a great increase, which is 57%. And the reason is that China carried out individual visa scheme in 2003. Chinese people come to Macau is easier than the previous. It attracts lots of Chinese people come to Macau to travel and gamble. And this is a percentage formula, and we use this to calculate the number. And also in this chart from 1997 to 2002, visitors by sea, which is the orange color, is more than visitors by land, which is the gray color. And we think that at the time, Hong Kong visitors is more than Chinese visitors. But in 2003, the situation is reversed because of the individual visa scheme. A big increase of Chinese people visit Macau after 2003. Moreover, visitors by land and in total in 2007 come to a high point. The visitors by land is about 17 million. The reason is that we have mentioned before, 就是那个2007年那个澳门正式进入那个6大国企时代，有很多的赌场开放来吸引游客。And we can have the comparison from 2002, the end of the monopoly system, to 2007, Macau has a systemic increase. Visitors by land has increased 12 million in absolute change and 236% in relative change. And also from 1997 to 2007, these 10 years, the visitors in total has increased about 20 million. Visitors in 2007 is 3.5 times of 1997, and the annual growth rate from 1997 to 2007 is 14.45%. I think it is a high rate, and this is the formula. And we can see that in 2007 to 2008, it has an obvious decrease. The reason is influenced by financial crisis of 2007 to 2008. At the time, the global economy is bad and the visitors is reduced. For example, from 2007 to 2008, it has decreased 27% of visitors entry by land and 15% in total. And then we will focus on the tourist by place of residence. We can see that this decreased 5.3% because of the financial crisis of 2007 to 2008, and its influence has continued to 2009. And also we can use the formula to explain the data. The annual growth rate from 2008 to 2014 is 10.6%, and the tourist in 2014 is 93% more than 2009. We will talk about the Chinese visitors. When we look at the right circle, we can see that in 2012, from January to February, it increased. In 2013, it increased. Why? Because the Chinese New Year holiday in 2012 is on January, and in 2013 is on February.
Wow.
So,
you know that
in 2012, the high point on January, and in 2013, the high point is on February. And we come up with the summary is that Chinese New Year will be more and these three caps have the same features, is that the highest point is in August and the lowest point is in September. The reason is simple, because in August is a holiday, people have time and they would like to visit Macau, but in September, at the end of the holiday, people should start to work and
Okay, in the next part, we will have a comparison with three places, China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. We can see that most visitors are come from mainland. The second and the third are Hong Kong. We can see that visitors in China is 22 times more than Taiwan visitors. According to the DSEC there are some countries data are given. We found that the most visitors come from China, and the least visitors come from South Africa. When we drop the graph, we can't see where is South Africa. When we look at the visitors of China and South Africa in 2014, we have understand the visitors of South Africa is about 6,000, but China is about 21 million, such a very huge distance, and we use three interesting ways to mention this comparison. In fact, they are talking the same. First, when a South African person visits Macau, there are 3,743 Chinese people visits Macau too. Second, Chinese visitors is more about 400,000% than South African visitors. Third, suppose there are 5,670 ex-towns, GR, 1,001 South African person, but 1,003,743 Chinese people.
Next, we will talk about the February of the day of visitors. For the graph, we can see that visitors come from Macau no matter which countries. We almost stay in Macau about 1 day. They go to Macau for a short visit and can make both, and not visit Macau for a long-term traveling vacation. Now let me talk about per capita spending of visitors in Macau. Compared with China, Southeast Asia, and America, you can see China is the highest one. Annual growth rate from 2000 to 2009 is 2.66%. Because China is very near to Macau, visitor travel to Macau is very convenient. Southeast Asia and America are more similar, and you will see the big main change in 2008. In that year, there are finance crisis from 2007 to 2008. We can see America is faster decrease than the other countries because America is the main maker of this finance crisis, and then the effects of finance crisis are overspread to the whole world. Let us focus on China. Annual growth rate is 5.1% before the finance crisis has happened. Compared with these three countries' per capita spending of visitors data in 2009, China is more 83% than Southeast Asia. China is more 132% than America, and Southeast Asia is more than 27% than America. Therefore, we can know China is a country of the main visitor to travel to Macau. And now we will introduce Macau gambling industry and public finance. First, we will talk about growth gambling revenue. Annual growth rate from 2002 to 2007 is 29%, and annual growth rate from 2002 to 2014 is 25.3%. In 2002, gambling industry liberalization. In 2003, Macau is open to self-travel. In 2007, more and more casinos are entered in Macau, such as 六大博企。六大博企包括威利斯人、銀河、永利、美高梅、澳博同新濠博亞。
Okay, let me take a compare with the situation of gambling between Macau and Las Vegas. Macau is a gambling city. As long as the Las Vegas or Monte Carlo of the East, gambling has a deep influence to Macau. Gambling is the most important economic pillar of Macau, and is led to the development of tourism and entertainment. Macau has become an international standard of regional tourism, gambling and exhibition center. Up to now, Macau has 30 casinos and over 5,000 gambling tables. On the other hand, Las Vegas is America's second largest city and has become one of America's fastest growing cities. It was named Buyecheng, which is a famous leisure and gambling city. The rich around the United States have to invest in a casino in there. Las Vegas has the most numbers of casinos and gambling tables in the world. The main pillar of the economy of Las Vegas is the gambling industry. It is similar to Macau. There is a diagram that shows the gambling general income of Macau and Las Vegas. You can see that from 1995 until 2012, Las Vegas gross gambling revenues have been higher than in Macau. Macau's gambling industry since 2002 open to accept foreign competitions since the rapid development of income. In 2013, Macau gross gambling revenues have amazing increase, not only beyond Las Vegas, or even its 7 times. Macau gross gambling revenues is 3,607 million. Las Vegas only have 550 million. Let's take a look with a news of Macau gambling. It is not a good news with Macau presidents. Until March of this year, Macau gambling revenues has decreased for 10 months. Do you know what is the reason led to this situation? There are 3 factors. The first one is the Chinese central government fight the corruption and slowdown in economic growth in the mainland China. The second one is the underground dance, 地下钱庄. The meaning is the organizations engage in underground economic activity. People do not act according to the norm of administration, and the last reason is some officials pay money illegally.
In economics, a direct tax will refer to any labor that is both imposed and collected on a specific group of people or organizations. An example of direct taxation would be income tax that are collected from the people who actually earn their incomes. And indirect tax are collected from someone or some organization other than the person or entity that would normally be responsible for the tax. A sales tax, for instance, will not be considered a direct tax because the money is collected from merchants, not from the people who actually pay the tax or the consumers. Gambling revenue and visitors expenditure are included in direct tax. Now we will compare between government vital consumption and tourist revenue. Tourist revenue include gambling tax revenue and visitor expenditure. Because there are no data of visitor expenditure from 2000 to 2009, so we make a graph start from 2010. Obviously, you can see tourist revenue is very higher than tourist expenses in Macau. Therefore, gambling brings higher income to Macau, and it is the main source of income in Macau. Compare with visitors' expenditure and public revenue in 2014. Visitors' expenditure is 39.56% of public revenue. Therefore, tourism is one of main income in Macau.
Let's take a look at Macau gambling tax and public revenue. You can see the diagram. In 2002, although Macau opened gambling industry liberalization but have not opened self-travel yet, the gambling tax is already more than half of public revenue. In 2013, because the foreigners further into the Macau casinos saw the further development of the gambling industry, the gambling tax is more than 75% of public revenue. In summarize, Macau gambling tax accounts for most of the total revenue. It affects the development of Macau economy. According to this chart, we can conclude that the increase of total gambling tax and Macau residents are direct ratio. The increasing rate of Macau resident income from 2012 to 2013 is near 90%. So development of tourism and gambling can increase Macau resident income.
First, I will talk about Macau's total area. In this graph, all curves keep increasing. The blue one is Macau total area, red one is Macau Peninsula, green one is Taiwan, the purple one is Cobo Island, and the light blue is Cotai Occupation Area. You can see in 1989, Macau's total area is 17.4 km square. In 2014, Macau's total area increased to 13.3 km square. Within 25 years, Macau's total area has increased 12.9 km square. Then I will talk about Macau's population. In 1970, Macau's population is 1,248,600 people, and in 2014, Macau's population is 636,200 people. The data shows Macau's population keeps increasing. After Macau population, I will talk about Macau's population density. Here is the equation of population density. We use population to divide the kilometer square to get the answer. The data keep increasing in 2013. Macau's population density is 19.5 thousand people per 1 kilometer square. Imagine this is Macau. Here is more and more people. This is really crowded. Next, I will talk about Macau's traffic. We now focus on tourist bus and public transport buses. Within 4 years, tourist bus increased 247, and public transport buses have increased 248. In 2010, tourist bus is 3 times more than public transport buses. In 2014, tourist bus is 2 times more than public transport buses. It seems Macau's public traffic has improved, but we think this is not enough. After Macau's traffic, I will talk about how many water bottles are wasted each year in Macau. 2014, Macau's population is about 640,000 people, and Macau's tourists is about 32 million. If they all waste 1 water bottles, more than 32 million water bottles are wasted. Do you think it is a very serious problem? Because the manufacturing and transportation of disposable water bottles require petroleum are non-renewable resources. The single-service bottled water industry has come under pressure from concerned consumers. The Pacific Institute calculates that it required about 70 billion barrels of oil to make the disposable plastic bottles for single-service water. To sustain the consumptive use of products relying on plastic components, level of manufacturing demand for plastic water bottles and the end result is shortage of fossil fuels. It's not only a shortage of the raw materials to make the plastic, but also a shortage of the energy required to the fuels they produce.
Now let me make a conclusion. First, the first one we talk about is that Macau is the largest both Eastern and Western country, and is the only place that allows you to gamble in travel. Then we analyze the data and find where the tourists mainly come from and how long they stay. Then we talk about the influence that the tourists bring. First, they make the economy develop and bring more improvements in the economy. But they also make more traffic jam and increase the burden of the population density. Finally, we also have some suggestions. First, the government should regulate the policy of the estate and entry. Since October 1st, 2008, mainland tourists are no longer allowed to enter Macau from Hong Kong. In the first 3 days in September, Shenzhen Airport flew Macau entry flying arrivals by daily average of over 500 reduced by an average of less than 300 per time. 540 Macau Airlines and Circle Ferry Terminal is also private. Average daily 1,100 down to 730 a day. 537. Second, the government can decrease the stay period of tourists. Since August 1st in 2008, million tourists put for the first time to Macau 40 days, shortened the period of stay for 7 days, not performing personnel to the facility of Macau. Again, a Macau entry and now staying for 2 days. The third time will be refused entry. Number 3, the government should give a better guidance. In terms of economy, it's unreliable to reduce the number of tourists, so it's a better way to enter, not disrupt the order. The government of Northern China in Macau should teach some important rules on laws to the tourists to make them conscious of being tourists. In addition, the government can try to guide the tourists in a medium way. Furthermore, the government should improve the traffic hardware equipment, such as the central isolation rail, traffic sign, pedestrian overpass and brakes. In addition, it's better to have more reasonable traffic rules. We can hold special sizing bus and carry tourists in a spot, or schedule them and enrich the connotation of the spot. And finally, we also can develop other industries or reducing the reliance on gambling.
This is our reference list and most of our data are coming from the SEC only angle. We hope our presentation will give you the basic concept about Macau wisdom. And that's all for our presentation. We are Team 2. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you for your